They're not waiting for nothing. We're here.
Ah!
Nice countdown or something.
When have I ever done a countdown?
For some reason, this time was just far
I
more
feel
shocking
like
than
usually
any
you go,
time
okay, I'm gonna
previously.
start now, and you didn't do that
Sometimes.
this time.
It was perfect timing where what he said. We're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. It's been a while. We've had scheduling things. We're adults. It
It's
sucks.
been a while.
But we're here.
We're adults?
Being
Technically.
on this
That doesn't
podcast.
sound right.
Yeah, there's no like actual like registration or test. There's just like a timeline. Once you reach that,
Oh my god,
that,
can you imagine there's
that
a
time, you're just
test?
there. To be an adult.
Yeah, just like, is he ready?
Oh my goodness.
Only he's gonna be adults. Wow.
I own an iron and no ironing board. Absolutely not. I'm not ready.
You don't own an iron?
No, I own an iron. To be fair, I actually did recently buy an ironing board to go with my iron, but I've had an iron for nearly a year and no board
Iron.
to iron upon. Sorry, what would you call it? Iron.
Iron.
Okay,
Iron.
so why? I feel like an ironing board really needs to be go back to R&D, because every
Because they're
ironing
garbage.
board out, yeah, they're super high, and because the center of gravity is so low based on where like the flex point is, they're like super freaking wobbly. Like we can't go back and like redo that.
In today's first world problems, do you think iron boards are a bit flimsy? Just buy a more expensive ironing board.
Yeah, because tackling third world problems, what this podcast is known for, the amount of issues we've solved around the world.
World issues. It's time. None of this video game nonsense. How are we going to get better ironing boards?
I don't remember the last time I've ironed something.
Oh yeah,
truly.
no, I don't. I don't iron
Oh, so you
at
want to
all.
fix something you don't use?
Well, part of the reason I don't use it is how shitty it is.
Oh.
I was about to say, if they were fixed, then he'd use them.
Right? Be
See,
an
if I take
ironing
my clothes-
pro.
If I take my clothes out of the dryer immediately, then it's no problem.
Oh, see, that's the thing. I leave my clothes in the dryer. So when I go downstairs to let the dog out in the morning, I turn it on for like 5 minutes, go upstairs, brush my teeth, put my contacts in. Then I go down and put on freshly de-wrinkled pants and shirts.
Ooh, there you go. And it's warm.
Yeah,
the
which
dryer is nature's iron.
nature's. Yeah, I remember the day my wife and I had to go hunt our dryer in the wild. and put up
You
quite
get
a
one
fight. Sprained an
Get one
ankle.
specially bred. Kitty cat.
Yeah, she's being a nuisance, so I thought I would put it on camera.
Which one? Which one this? Wait, are
This
both of
one
them
is-
up there?
No,
No, it's just one.
It looks
she's
like
just
there's a
fat.
second one behind her, but
those are houses.
Mm. Yeah, it's Hogwarts. You should know. You live there.
yes.
Hi, baby. Are you good now? Now that you're on camera.
So what's everyone up to? Who are you people? Let's start there. We haven't done that part yet. Hi, I'm me.
Who are you people?
I'm Platinum.
I'm Blindside.
Blind. We talk with W's now.
Blindside.
And that is Anna, and that is Elsa because she's under
That's
the
a couch.
That is a sofa.
She's under it though, so she's there. That's Elsa. She's probably literally like right there.
Your cats have gone. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't want to be part of this shoddy production. They have standards.
Well, technically, Elsa is still right there.
Are you sure?
Does that
Yeah.
count as in shot?
No.
If you're behind something. But you're in the shot.
gosh.
You're just behind a thing. This might be the weirdest bit we've done.
I'd like to point out, Platinum's gonna say that the cat's there, whether or not the cat's there.
Yeah, she's gonna come out and be like, yeah, she's there.
Yeah,
She's chilling.
of course.
Yeah, definitely chilling under that couch.
She is.
With your
No,
zero proof
we-
and evidence,
That's
we
her
believe you.
spot. She hangs out there for like 8 hours a day, every day.
Yeah, my dog's right behind those DVDs over there. She's just
I
I
believe
got a
you.
pet horse. It's just behind the bed.
little Sebastian. Is it a miniature horse?
Little Sebastian.
I'm rewatching Parks and Rec right now. That's so funny.
I
you
love
say
Parks
that.
and Rec.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, so news, tags. Let's start there. So they
Oh, yeah.
so 350 new tags started on June 1st. So less
Yeah.
than a week ago. Have you guys
A
poked
lot.
around them and looked at what the options are? Have you explored all
Um,
350?
I
I
have.
thought
I'm
I
not allowed
did.
to use any of them. I can use one, and it's the vaguest one.
The man.
Yeah.
Again, British. We just established as a British one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. I'm also British, but that's secondary.
You're a British man.
I'm a man first, then I'm British. I'm a man of Britain, not a British man. That
I mean,
dehumanizes
to be
me.
fair, we've discussed that maybe probably American is like the default, so putting an American tag is not going to be helpful.
Yeah, I really don't. I agree.
I don't think that should be the case, but hey, here we are.
I mean, I'm guessing it's the same logic that they haven't put in a straight or a cis tag. Like they've just kind
Right.
of gone like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they don't need one.
Yeah.
But they put in an American one, so they were like, this is important enough. Although they've put in
Yeah.
one for like every country, which out of the 350 they've done, like that, I think the countries covers like a good chunk of it.
Do they really get every country?
They got some really abstract, like when I was like hopping about in there, like they've
Yeah.
got some. I say abstract. That potentially sounds rude. I don't know.
They got abstract
Some of you,
ones like
some of
India
you,
and
yeah, some of you
like
countries
these
are abstract.
obscure countries no one's ever heard of.
In
Like
Egypt.
Caymanese. Like, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, I think I did look through, although some of these actually maybe I didn't then because I thought I did, but now I'm seeing a whole lot of new ones.
They're still adding them to this day.
That's what it feels like.
Legends say that Twitch is still adding tags.
You know what's
They're
frustrating though? Before and after them adding tags, when you go to add tags, you can't just scroll through the list because you can't get to the bottom. It like frustrates me to no end.
If you
Like
want to
they
add
won't let
tags,
you
you should
scroll
know.
all the way.
On
should
Twitch
know
or
what
on like
tags
your
you need to
streaming
add.
service?
On Twitch.
Okay, cool. On Streamlabs,
Twitch.
I can add the tags before as part of my go live. They're integrated into Streamlabs.
Yeah, so
But I
on
don't-
the stream manager,
Yeah.
I add tags through that.
Okay.
And like I have to know what it's called because so that way it's like at the
Yeah.
top because if I scroll too much, it like will be at the end of the scroll, but I can't see the end of the window. I'm like, Twitch, why?
Gotcha.
Why?
Yeah, I don't think Streamlabs has that problem. I think I don't even have to start
Yeah.
searching. I can just scroll through all however many
Oh, that's so nice. Because they give you like recommended ones, so they're all
Yeah.
out of order as well. I'm like, get out of here.
My favorite thing is that they put out a blog post being like, here's the 300 plus tags that we put, but like it's sorted alphabetically, just go ham. Like you can control F through there, but unless you know what you're control Fing for, you're fucked. That's what control
There's a
F stands for.
gymnastics tag. I would have
Yes,
put that
there
on.
is.
I didn't know.
I feel like that's about to answer my next question was, of the tags you've seen, what's your favorite? I think no. We caught on to your answer pretty good.
They rearranged the Final Fantasy 14 tags. It used to be like you could tag exactly what job you were, and now they've just put it as like, are you playing as a, what is it? Disciple of Hand, Disciple of Land, Disciple of War, Disciple of Magic, which is like the 4 like schools of job. So rather than being like, I'm playing specifically this thing, it's just like I hit stuff with things or I do magic-y things. Like,
yeah.
Which I think's reasonable. I don't know anyone that's like over the top. When I've streamed Final Fantasy 14, I haven't really bothered unless I'm like, if I'm crafting, I'll put like there's a tag for like in-game crafting and stuff. But
I want to say I feel like that actually provides a very good in-depth view of their mindset when they first started this, which is also the problem that Twitch has currently. So like the fact that like so a lot of people were, I know part of the like the queer community, the problem was they had LGBTQ plus and all that, but they had just one tag that was supposed to be all encompassing of everything. Meanwhile, Final Fantasy had specific tags for unique like specific jobs. Like each one of those was like singled out at least at one point. And I feel like that speaks to the problem that Twitch tries to cater to as many as they can, but they still specifically target like quote unquote gamers,
Yeah.
as opposed to like the community.
Well, there's
And I
still an
Yeah.
ongoing argument about is Twitch a video games website?
and that's the thing. Like, it
I think it's
100%.
evolving to be more.
Yeah, it 100% started as that. Like that was purely its core
Well,
demographic.
Well,
technically,
technically,
it started as an eBay
um,
site.
actually,
Actually, it started as to be a something to rival eBay, and they like showed videos of like
Okay,
the
yes, but
products.
Pepsi also technically started as like
wait,
an
was it?
anti-stomach, like to help settle a bad stomach. Like I understand, like that may have been their target, but
Yeah,
like their rise to power was targeting the gamer community.
I agree with that.
Their
Wait, was
intent,
it actually a thing to rival eBay? I thought it started off as because wasn't it that guy
Justin
Justin
TV.
TV was that
TV.
one dude who just like put cameras all through his house? Was
Mm-hmm.
it not that dude?
It is that dude.
How's that a rival to eBay? He was like, yes, you can watch me live my life 24/7.
Both.
And also buy this Google Pixel.
Right? Yeah. So,
but yeah, but like I feel like that continues to be Twitch's problem. Is I think part of their culture, probably at the business level, is still gamer focused, and like their community is like, nah, man, like the community as a whole hasn't been strictly gamer focused for a while. There's a large
right.
percentage that is, but that's
Yeah.
not. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's Twitch's problem sometimes. And I,
I
like I said,
wonder if you take like all the categories that aren't gaming and like put them together, and then like all the ones that like viewer wise, all the gaming ones, and I
yeah.
wonder like where the ratio is at now.
I feel like if you were to limit the countries, because that's just kind of, if you were to take the country tags out of it, I would still guess that the gamer tags outnumber the non, but that's
Oh,
purely
I
a
was
stab in
thinking like the gaming category. So like all the viewers watching ASMR, all the viewers
Oh,
watching
gotcha.
um
Yeah, so if you have
hot tub
ASMR,
streams,
art,
just chatting.
crafting.
Yeah, art, creative, like all the viewers watching those categories versus all the viewers watching gaming categories. Like I wonder where the ratio is at.
And they probably fixed
Mm.
it a little bit when they murdered music. Like they just cold
Yeah.
blooded,
Oh my
like
god.
one to the back of the head and just
Yeah.
went, nah, you're on your own. Bye.
It's like the astronaut meme where they're like, "What do you mean we've been doing copyright?" They're like, "You've never been able to do copyright."
No one can use DMCA. It's like
It's been
IP.
DMCA the whole time.
Always was.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
And yet
I
there's still
just
like there's still a music channel on the front page like every
Yeah.
time I go. And I'm like, you're not fooling me. And also, when are they gonna get banned? Because they're doing
There
music.
was literally one last night. Like I for the first time forever, I hopped back, and I think she was singing like a Fleetwood Mac song,
Yeah,
and like
I
it was
don't
just
quite understand. It's like they're promoting it, but they're also like, but be careful because we're gonna ban you.
I mean, basically, they don't care. Like, they just have to show due diligence, right? Like, they don't
Right.
really give a fuck. Like, they make money either way, but they
well.
just have to prove to the IP holders that they're doing their due diligence, that it is transformative in nature. And then
Does
the minute that someone DMCA's it, they're like, okay, that's fine. We'll ban them.
but don't covers, like, don't they fall in a different category if someone's doing like a cover or like a
Well,
specific?
this is the whole thing. Like, but so they will DMCA for like I think it's as low as 3 seconds of a song. Like the system can pick you up. But like so say I was to critique music, which is transformative in nature, which is within DMCA. Like I can play segments of a song and I can break the song down and go through the theory and stuff. Because that's educational or critique, which are both
Mhm.
covered.
Mhm.
You'll absolutely get a strike for doing that.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like if you're playing the song, like it doesn't seem to matter. Like, and this
Yeah.
is because YouTube went through this stage. YouTube went through a
Yeah.
stage where you could basically play whatever you wanted, and then they went through that stage where people were you couldn't just play the music, but like you could do like critiques of music or something. And now it's kind of it progressed to the next point of where they've still got problems with that. And
Yeah,
now
they still
Twitch is
have
just like
major
lagging
problems.
behind it a little bit.
Yeah. I wonder if there's some kind of way to analyze the impact things like that may or may not actually have. Like I think it's too subjective. There's too much unknowns to really do that because you have people who, like myself, will test something out before I want to buy it, or if I find something I'm like, ooh, I like that, and then I'll go buy it. Like, and I do this with like games all the time. Like dropping $60 to $70 on a game to find out you absolutely hate it and want to play 10 minutes of it is not a fun experience. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get
Mm-hmm.
refunds and stuff like that, as opposed to being like, all right, let me procure this game, test it out. Ooh, I really like this game. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna go buy it. Like I do that all the time. I've bought a lot of games that I've already beaten because I played it, I liked it, and they like. I'm not just gonna not like give them like I have no qualms about testing it out and doing those kind of things. But at the same time, I fully go, okay, I like this game. I understand how the economy works and like companies need the money for budgets and like stuff like that. So I will then buy it. So like I wonder if there's any way to track like if the DMCA's are actually hurting or helping the music industry. Like
I think it's gotta help because you go, you hear a song on someone's, playlist and it's like, oh, I've never heard this artist before.
yeah,
And then you go and like add it to your own Spotify playlist or whatever, which gives them money
yeah,
versus no discoverability, other than your own Spotify playlist.
Yeah, I think that's the real difference between so effectively like video games and movies and music are all covered by the same thing, like it's protected IP. And I feel like streaming for video games, they kind of went, well, if you see a snippet of a video game and someone play it, you're gonna want to go and buy that game. Whereas because I think music is so different, like I don't know many people that just sit and listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like obviously also music isn't really a thing that's sold anymore. Like I don't know
Mm-hmm.
anyone that goes out and buys unless they're buying like vinyls. I know a few people that collect vinyls and stuff,
mm,
but I don't know many people that will go and like buy a CD or buy an album on iTunes or something. Like
It's
everything's
almost
listened
like
through.
collectors instead of the casual viewer
yeah,
of music.
Yeah, so I think this is why like because with video games, Nintendo did it for a long time. They basically turned around to everyone and said, you can't stream or make YouTube content of any of our games unless you belong to this club, which has all these terms and conditions. And every other video game dev and like IP owner was just like, you know what? It's going to push sales. It's free advertisement.
yeah,
So
Mm-hmm.
they let it slide. But I think in the music industry, they've obviously looked at it and gone, this isn't having someone play music in the background whilst they do a just chatting stream or like a makers and crafters stream or something like that. That doesn't push sales for us. Like it doesn't push any revenue our way.
Mm-hmm.
They're just making revenue using our IP, and therefore we're going to be like, no, you can't do that.
Hmm.
Which I
I,
think is like the main difference.
I think the problem is also the middle person because music is run by the middle person, not by the artist. Like there are
Mm-hmm.
some artists who have been able to negotiate or have gotten big enough or have worn out their contracts and have gone off on their own. Like those people exist, but the bulk of the music industry is owned by a middle person who just who there are with exceptions does not care about the art. They are in it for the money. Like of course
Yeah.
there are exceptions. Like that's not an across the
Mm-hmm.
board statement, but like the bottom line is what drives them. So like if they think anything is going to infringe on that, it's just kibosh it. There's no
Yeah.
because I know like almost none of the details. But like Taylor Swift has a huge problem with like she can't play a lot of her songs because they're owned by another company now, and she's gone
Yeah.
through great lengths to like try to get the song she wrote, produced, sung, performed back, and it's just not
Yeah.
happening. Like there's just
Yeah.
this weird vindictive like no I own it, kind of thing. Like
Yeah. Her first album, she like can't get those songs back.
yeah,
And so I think
That's
that's why
that's something
she's
that's so weird to me.
yeah,
I
that's
think
why
it's
she's
smarter.
re-releasing Fearless to keep the rights to her songs.
Yeah, I think it's even more than her first album. But yeah, like it's so weird.
It seems like super tangled and just bizarre. Like
Yeah,
the music industry, like you said, Elliot, like has changed so much over
I
the
mean,
years
I think
that it's like, why
consumption
do
has
we
changed.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of other things about it are quite archaic, and they don't. I think
Right.
this is I've seen a lot of people saying about like this whole DMCA thing is like a dying industry, effectively like putting up its last fight. Because now as an artist, so like if I was a music artist, I can make my own music and then I can put it onto the internet where it'll be seen by millions of people. You don't need record labels and stuff anymore. They were only ever really used for reach, and now they have less reach than you have access to in most cases.
Yeah.
I think like the thing that they still kind of possess power on is stuff like awards and things like that like international acclaim level of musician. There's not a lot of like online music artists who are still reaching that.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Yeah.
so in a somewhat unrelated field but a similar concept. So stand-up comedy. I mean, for a lot of times you'd have to buy CDs for stand-up comics and stuff like that. So it went through a similar process in terms of it was owned by other people and stuff like that. And there was a point where Louis C.K., before a lot of the personal drama and everything that happened with his life, like he had his own website and he released a special on the website because he got a lot of feedback from fans being like, hey, really, like he just listened to his fan base and the internet and stuff like that. So he put it on his website for like $5 for his full stand up. And because like they gave him advice of that, there was no protections on it. If you download it, you could share it with anyone. He sold well over 1 million of them within like the first week. So that was $5 million purely into his pocket because he used no other things. He put no security protections on it. Just the people and his fans were like, no, put it on here. Don't do protections because that just pisses people off. Like they want to be able to get it and share it and do what they want with it. He went, okay, $5, boom, made 5 million just like in a week or something like that. Like it's insane.
Oh my gosh.
So like that's the thing. Like, and I feel like the music industry, like I feel like a lot of artists know this, but as we were talking about, the old industry doesn't. Is like the fans want that. Like
Well, I think they know it, but yeah, they don't want to like conform.
yeah,
Well, it also like completely admits that like they are like useless. They serve no purpose now.
Yeah.
yeah, not
Like they're completely unnecessary.
Yeah, like it's
Um,
gonna get to the point where I mean they don't want to lose their whole entire industry or like their companies. So,
all right. So that's the music industry. We've solved that. Check
we've
that
solved
off.
the music industry. So
Pro-
Iron and Board's still working on. Music
yep,
industry's done.
correct.
there's more Twitch news.
Oh, go on then.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw it, Wolves, but animated emotes are coming
I
to
did.
Twitch.
Animated
For
emotes and
partners.
No,
follower
I know, Mr. Grumpy Pants over
I
there.
know.
and like follower emotes or something like that. What was the other one?
Yeah, follower
Yes,
emotes
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Is it like affiliates get one slot for hitting a follower goal?
That I don't know. I didn't see that in the article.
I've only
but
seen people talk about it. I haven't actually seen it.
but as far as the animated emotes, or probably the follower too, yeah, it's coming to partners first, and it'll probably come to affiliates. They said by the end of the year, so maybe like a year and a half, 2 years, and um, and it's gonna be like separate from regular emotes, which I think is really cool because I thought it was gonna be a choice between, do I want a static emote or a GIF emote? But it's like, no, it seems like you're going to have 5 regular emote. Well, depending on your sub
Yeah.
count. But you're going to have 5 regular emotes for your tier 1 and then 5 animated emotes for your tier 1. And I'm like, 10 emotes for.
Oh man.
Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I assumed it was gonna be like one
did you
animated
pressure
emote.
them into this?
I was like, and they were like, all right.
Oh,
I
man.
can't get them to change on anything else, though.
I
Man,
can't find anything about these.
I need to
follower
somehow figure out how to
emotes.
animate 2 of my favorite emotes,
Right?
which is Wolves Too Angry and Wolves Too Shy.
Yes.
I will be paying someone to do
I
it
love
for
that
me
one. I want
because
that
I
one
have
so
no
bad.
skills.
And yeah, it should be under the animated blog, Elliot, because it's like hidden in there and no one's talking about the follower emotes. But I think the follower emotes is really fun.
I don't remember my own emote things
Wow,
anymore.
wolves here. Oh
Is
no,
it? I gotta do
believe I
capital.
don't have
What part is
Found the
capital?
blog.
There we go. That part's capital.
I was like, I don't have your Franker faces or better.
I don't have Wolves Too Shy up at the moment. It must just be in
Let's go.
Discord.
Let's try to.
That's funny. Which part is capitalized?
Listen.
It's the second one.
Yeah, I figured it out. I thought I had Shy as an emo. It must just be in the Discord at the moment. I still have Wolves Too Angry.
I use your Shy one in the Discord a lot.
I love that one.
It's so cute with this stuff. It's like the perfect way of how I feel, or like how I want other people to see me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm so excited because I love animated emotes, and I'm like, ugh.
Oh man, that's gonna animated emotes is gonna be a nightmare for Twitch because so static emotes already have the problem of inappropriateness. Animated
Right.
is just gonna add a whole new level of inappropriateness.
Yeah.
No. Twitch viewers being
No.
inappropriate. I couldn't even have an emote with an F on it.
Yeah.
Because they
it's
were like,
true.
oh, but what if people spell fuck? Let them spell fuck. They could just write fuck. What's wrong with you?
That's a good point. I actually didn't think about that. Oh, probably because
It's
like
if you
someone,
have it like filters.
yeah, censored
Yeah.
or whatever,
But
like
just-
it would
but
censor
just
the
have
text,
the
but not the
emote.
emotes.
Surely it's easier to have an emote system where it flags it being like, this has a lone F in it, so just count it as an F in any filtering system. Is that really that hard? A multi-million-pound company that does
Yes.
video game stuff, they can't be like, oh, this could be used to spell shit, so we're just going to ban it. Just straight up ban it. I hate you.
Yeah, so there's no single letter. You can't have a single letter in an emote. That is a rule of emote making.
But surely you could have sh, which is SH, and then you could spell shit with that. Or
That is true.
bullshit, which
You
is
can
what
do
this
that.
whole system fucking is.
There's a lot of wow in multiple languages too.
Wow.
A lot of cursing happening
I
right now.
don't know why, but when you said multiple languages, I thought you were just talking about the sign language versus sign language. Because like as if like bullshit both at AMS and British Sign Language were like
Oh.
so we both did it. You're like different languages. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
British isn't a different.
Do you know it would be BSL, Elliot? Do you know anything of British Sign Language?
No, I know how to do letters. I know like some of the alphabet, but that's it. The vowels
Okay.
are very easy because it's just A, E, I, O, U.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
So-
no,
Okay. I know.
we do
so
all
the
one
vowels
handed.
are like-
JOSEPHHO.
I think we have
I
one
can't
as well
remember
that is like one-handed, so you can spell stuff. I know L is this. I think M's
Yeah,
that.
all of British Sign Language is two-handed, which or like
H?
the alphabet is two-handed, which I think is so bizarre.
Yeah, no, American Sign Language is all one handed letters.
Well, that's because
Yeah.
you lot have 4th of July where you all play with fireworks. You need things to be one-handed.
It's true.
I would have said I need to
Oh,
hold
just
my
throw
beer.
shade.
I don't know why
A whole
fireworks is
continent.
the...
Did you see the tweet I sent you for the trailer for the American movie?
I saw that you sent
No.
it to me. I haven't watched it.
Oh my god, you
I
gotta
was like,
watch.
did you send it to
I
me?
read it and then and then I went, oh, I need to watch that when I'm not at work, and then I never did it.
Oh man, it's crazy.
That's funny.
It's the true history of America, and it's just like the A Team, but it's like George Washington, and like
Oh no.
at one point, like George Washington like walks in and says something like snappy, and I forget who it is. Brandon Fleming is like, "Did you make that up? Did you make that up while you were in the car? What the fuck is a car?" Like it's just so absolutely absurd.
I love it.
Yeah, it's gonna
That's
be.
cool. That's fun.
But no, animated emotes. That's gonna that's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be so much inappropriate for a while.
Yeah, there's gonna be so much like just stuff jerking stuff off.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I'm so
like
excited.
2 side by side emotes.
It can't be more than 60 frames.
You say that
So
like
is
we
that
were
a
planning
one-
movies. Here's my
So can you
emote.
do-
It's just the entire Hobbit.
60-second films, but you only get 60 frames. Good,
Yeah,
good luck.
exactly. Like, yeah. So I don't know. I'm like, I wonder if that's gonna be a problem or not. And then it can't be. I think it can't be over a megabyte of file.
Okay.
So it gives you a 1-second loop at 60 FPS, but like you can get away with 30, 24. You can probably do 24.
Well, is it going to be playing? You get 60 frames, but is it going to be playing at 60 FPS, or is it going to be playing at 30? Is it going to be playing at?
Oh, that's a very good point.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
I've got
it's
the
just a
block up.
GIF, so I think whatever you set the GIF at,
Um,
it'll be a GIF file.
All right, so I'm gonna do 60 frames at 1 frame per second. I'm gonna play entire episodes of TV shows 1 frame at a time, just to get the point across.
Okay.
Just a series of scenes, so you're like, oh, I follow what's
I
happening.
think that's gonna be a really big file because there'll be a lot of information. I don't know. Maybe you should do it. Start a trend.
would
it can
would
only
that
be
be
a
a lot
1
of?
meg file
Is there
size.
is there more information if I have each frame be a full second apart versus if they're done in like a fraction of a second?
So
I honestly
if
don't
you
know. You'd have to do it.
if you use the auto resize and you upload 1, it can be a meg. But if you do the manual mode and you upload, oh, it's because it's both sizes. It has to be like half the.
Yeah.
Is this how they're just gonna make people use auto resize? I'll be like, okay, but your gifts can be bigger.
Yeah, I don't know. So if you do a manual, it's only 2 sizes?
So if you do a manual, it has to be 512 kilobytes per like each file for
Hmm.
each file.
Yeah,
And if
because
you
when
do
you
the
size it
auto
down,
resize,
it'll
you can do
lose
a meg.
it loses information. So your file size will go down when you size it down.
But yeah, it just says more than 60 frames. It doesn't say anything about how they work. It just says the first frame is the thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
Manual mode, easy animate. Oh yeah, they've got the easy animate mode.
Yeah, so you can take a
an
static
existing one
emote and then
and
like
it'll
add it.
just do it.
Yeah.
You can make them like spin.
Yeah, which
There's
is nice because you can kind of make your own like
shake,
arrive
rave,
emote or
roll.
something, which is cute.
You can do slide in and slide out. So just use 2 slots and have one slide in, one slide out. and
Yeah,
it'll go
exactly.
through.
I
You
think
can
that'd
do
be
that with
so
roll,
cute.
actually.
All right. That'll be interesting to see how it ends up working out.
I want it.
I mean, blind rage with shake will be
Platinum's
pretty
happy for 2
strong.
reasons. 1, she really wants it. 2, as a person who takes commissions, she's just seeing dollar signs.
I cannot lie to you. I was like, shit. I was like, if somebody asks me, what am I gonna charge? I'm like, I have no idea.
So it looks like the follower emotes is you get 5 emotes that are available to followers,
Yeah,
which is a
5.
lot.
That seems like a lot. So literally, if you're following, which you know you probably are if you're subbed, you'll have 15 emotes to this to one channel.
But this is so they're running on beta access at the moment. So basically, once the beta is up, they might change that number. I reckon they probably will.
Yeah.
I don't think they usually don't change the beta too much. It's more of like fine tuning to make sure it works.
But that's a lot of emotes.
I agree.
You've already
but they
got
don't
like
change that in the past.
I don't have that many emotes.
because what do you get at the moment? So you get your 5 sub ones, which is a tier 2, a tier 3, and then 3 tier 1s. And then you've got bit emotes. And then
Wait, it's 5 tier 1 if you have 50 subs. Like, because the cap for affiliates is 50. And you get 1 per 10.
I thought I filled all my slots. Sorry,
You
I'm only
did.
running off of my own thing.
You need to commission more. So
You know,
Oh.
I might happen to know someone who, takes commission.
I've done Elliot's emotes. I love Elliot's emotes. They turned out so good.
I can't
Yeah,
even
we've had
find
this
my
conversation
other game.
because my
Yeah,
emotes don't
Wolves
make
emotes.
my emotes don't make the
Oh,
cut.
yeah, I
They're not
don't-
on
I
the
don't have
site.
tier
They're not
3.
advertised anywhere. I'm gonna
I
get a
need to redo
I'm gonna get a
them.
lawsuit injunction to remove your name from my Twitch homepage saying you made them.
I mean, technically, if you did, and you went to like, there's no proof that I ever did that.
No.
Like,
I'm just making a baseless claim.
other than like the files are still on my computer.
See these shitty emotes? This is what Platinum makes. Be careful.
Leave a Yelp
Oh my
review.
God. I know. I need to redo them.
So, but yeah, so I mean that's gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So have there been any
They're
partners that are angry about it yet?
continually- Oh, what's that?
Have there been any partners that have been angry about it yet? I
I'm gonna
remember how
blindly
angry
say
partners
yes
got.
without actually knowing.
Yeah.
Just
I remember
yes.
how
pretty sure
angry they
are.
got when affiliates got sub buttons. Like there were people being like, "No, this is how this should work. I'm
Yeah.
special."
I
Now
know.
there's absolutely going to be partners out there being like, "Oh, they're giving them more emote slots. What's even the point in being a partner anymore?"
Right. Like honestly,
What's even the point of me being a partner anymore? As they cash their thousands of dollars paychecks.
Yeah. What's the point of being a partner apart from the increased revenue share and actually having control over my contractual obligations to the website and having access to my own like partner person that works at Twitch that deals with problems that I have? Apart from those things, why even bother if affiliates get 5 more
and you
subs?
get like a
Bullshit.
sponsor board or whatever, so that way you're easier access to sponsors.
But
Yeah.
why bother? What's the point?
Yeah, I was
Also,
gonna
that
say
they
I'm
get the
kind
5
of
follow
upset for
emotes as
them.
well, but
They are continually blurring the line and really kind of like discouraging people from being partnered. I feel
discouraging. Well, but to be fair, it makes sense though, because like stuff like the 75 average viewers was calculated off of the ratio of people that only view Twitch to people that stream on Twitch. At the time they worked it out. So at the time, for every streamer, there was about 75 people. So if you were basically had your audience share, if you will,
Sure.
you were offered partner. And now even having those numbers makes no difference. And I think the ratio at the last time I looked at it was more like 1 to 23 or something.
And I think
So
that
it's like
number went
3
down
times
because
harder.
getting affiliate is a lot. They like really lowered the bar on getting affiliate. Like, yes, it's difficult at first, but if you think like relatively, it's not that hard to get affiliate.
Mhm.
And
I
so
mean,
that number went down.
getting
Like the
affiliate is
ratio.
very doable.
Right. That's what I'm
As
saying.
long as you're not just like, it's fine, I'll play League of Legends 2 hours a week. Like, if you are streaming games that have an audience and aren't super saturated, like you can do it within a couple of weeks. I've known people that have done it within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I know our friend HP literally had enough followers and he didn't even stream once.
Yeah.
And all he had to do was stream the amount of times and then he got affiliate.
Yeah, an average of 3 viewers. Like, you and your bot count for a start. You have to have one person sat there. Just ring your mom and be like, Mom,
right.
I've
Again,
left
like
it up on the TV. You just
relatively,
need to turn it on.
it's pretty gosh darn easy to get affiliate. And then I feel like partnered it, like that 75 is so flipping hard. And then when you say like the ratio's down, it's even harder.
I mean, also the fact that like 75 isn't even enough nowadays. Like, you can be averaging 75 viewers, no raids, and you could put in an application and they'll still reject you.
Yeah, it's been like that since the beginning. Like when they had it though, when they were like 75, it's like you could do it and they could still reject you for whatever reason. Like it's always been that way.
And that's
like,
another reason why I just don't care when partners complain about like the affiliate stuff. It's like you do realize like the gap between them and you is still massive. But there's a lot of people who meet all the criteria that it's still like that criteria is just the criteria where you can begin to like ask.
Like apply.
Yeah.
I've never seen a partner complain about it that still meets partner criteria. Is also a beautiful part of it, because it's always the same people that every time someone suggests like maybe you shouldn't just have like tenured partner, and they should like check up on your stuff, and they go, no, that would be ridiculously unfair. Well, some people think the partner
Is it
system's
because
not
you have
so
15
fair.
viewers now?
Yeah. I've been a partner forever. Yeah, you were also a partner when the criteria was a lot easier to become a partner versus like.
But I do feel for them a little bit because I just think it's ridiculous how like they aren't giving partners anything new. They're just giving affiliates really all the new stuff.
Yeah. I mean, partners kind of have all the things though. Apart from the stuff where like Twitch has like no communication and things like that, like realistically that would be the only thing.
Career benefits where they get more money, like that kind of stuff. Like all of their major benefits is all like money, and then they gave all the cosmetic stuff to affiliates.
Imagine your only benefits being money.
I'm just saying, like, and you're gonna need the viewership in order. Like, even if you're partnered right now, our viewership and our sub count isn't gonna actually make this to where we can quit. You know, you can quit your job, and you know what I mean. So it's like you have to be up there anyway, and then also like have sponsors and have other income in order to make this an actual career. See, otherwise, it's hobbies.
Blindside, what you don't realize is Platinum is ever getting closer and closer to that partner status. So her mindset is slowly
I am
changing. She
not.
needs to get more and more
Every day.
defensive.
Every day
I'm
she
not
crawls
red
closer
though.
and
I'm
closer
not
across no
even
man's
close at
land.
all.
I said closer. You're slowly ebbing closer and closer. So you gotta start your mindset change now, so it's more gradual and less noticeable.
I've noted, like,
That
I
way, when you become a
remember
partner and you no longer want to join this podcast with these lonely affiliates,
it's below me. Quite. Yeah, like I've always noticed that. Like even I think like the first TwitchCon I went to, I was like, there's a difference in mentality between like partners and affiliates. Affiliates are like, I'm doing this for fun, yay! And if I make money, it's great, kind of thing. And then like partners are like, no, I'm making strategic decisions so that way I can stay here. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
well, yeah, I mean, there's gonna be that. There's always gonna be that switch because like the
Mm-hmm.
people who are affiliates and doing it for fun, I have a job, like that's
Right.
paying me. If I
Right.
quit that job and threw my life into Twitch, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna be way more concerned about all
No,
those things.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Like,
saying it's a bad thing.
yeah,
It was something I've noticed like for a long time, and like that you can tell the people who are trying to make it to partner, they're like they're trying to do things differently. And
yeah, and that I admit is going to create a divide in the community, and that makes sense
yeah.
because there's a slight slap in the face when someone like me shows up, like, I just do it for fun, I don't give a shit, and someone who's like dedicating their life and like, no, 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 I don't eat if this doesn't work out. And I'm like, lol,
Yeah.
like, I
You're like, yay, new emotes. And then they're just like, no, that was, you're getting rid of reasons of people to suffer to me. That was the other thing I was actually surprised of with the whole follower emotes, because every decision Twitch has made so far is to encourage subs. Like every decision. It's
mhm.
like encourage and give more value to the $5 sub. And then this with the follower emotes, like that's free. And so I thought that was a very interesting decision. That's like the first decision in like 5 years it feels that
Yeah.
they've actually gave a benefit to not give money. Like it was really interesting. I don't know what that means, but I thought it was weird.
Their next announcement is going to be Amazon takes half of all emote commissions that are for Twitch.
Oh
So
my
every time
God.
a streamer commissions you for Twitch emotes, you have to give half of that revenue to Amazon.
Oh my God, I would raise my prices so fast. I feel like no.
Oh, I'm gonna be off streaming emotes on YouTube. Bye.
Yeah, peace out. I will deal with their DMCA.
I wonder if there's some. I guarantee there's some metric that shows the amount of active people in chat drastically increases something or other. So if they're giving
Mhm.
followers emotes, it'll make them more active in chat, which will therefore, like, I
Yeah,
guarantee there's some
maybe.
statistic like, oh, for every X percentage of people chatting, this many subs occur. Like, I guarantee there's some
Mhm.
like chain of events, which is why they're giving follower
There has to be, because I
emotes.
was like, you've never done this before.
Yeah. There's a
Why
statistician
would you
somewhere
change
behind the
now?
scenes that was like, this will make money. They're like, okay. Like, I guarantee it.
Excellent.
I want a pitch meeting of Twitch's decisions. Like every time there's like a big Twitch like a change, I want a pitch meeting of like, yeah, 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 yeah.
But money.
That's fine.
Oh.
That makes money.
Oh, money? Why didn't you say that? Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'll get right off that thing.
Uh, oh, man. All right. So, next. So, actually, Catburger mentioned this in chat, and I actually wanted to bring it up as well. So, E3.
Yes.
That starts, what, the 10th? 12th?
12th.
7th?
I thought it
18th?
started now.
No, the 10th.
It's Saturday the 12th of June.
Yeah,
Oh my
because
goodness.
the Game Fest kickoff is the 10th, but yeah, the first directs are starting on the 12th.
Ah.
So,
I have the schedule right here.
me too.
The schedule.
The schedule.
Schedule.
I'm only well, I usually watch the whole thing, but
Yeah.
seems like Sunday's the big day.
I've done it a couple times and then I've skipped it other times. Do we think E3 is dying? Because
Yes.
everyone's kind of
Oh.
going off and having their own parties.
100%.
Yeah.
They're having
Does-
their own parties.
But does this mean that E3 is going to get like more wild? Like, will they kill someone on stream or something? They'll be like, we got to get them views.
Oh
We'll
my
give everyone
God,
follower
probably.
emotes and then we'll sacrifice a goat. Because I'll watch that. I will watch murder.
Oh, you know, E3 has been dying slowly for years. Because there was a point where it was basically like a football stadium thing events, and you had like the E3 girls, and like it was this whole massive production. And then like they cut
Yeah.
out like most of that. It was like just like booths and productions. And now with like COVID and
Right.
stuff like that, it's just like directs and like
Yeah. And it was like only news people are allowed to be there. And now they're
yeah.
like, actually, regular public can be there too.
No one trusts news people anymore. We better start selling tickets.
I think it's because they were like, well, why do you want to be there? And then they kind of became more productions and less like meetings. And so then people are like, well, I want to be there. Like, how fun is it to like see the announcements, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's become more like theater. And then like, yeah, and then it's hella expensive to be there, which is why Sony was like, peace, I'll do our own thing.
Yeah.
I think ever since like Nintendo really showed that they didn't need to be there, they just have these really nicely edited, like
Yeah.
succinct packages, and Sony went, let's do that, but like not even show it there. Like
Yeah.
You're saying we can just do the same thing we do there. People will still watch it. It will save us like $1 million a year.
yeah,
Well,
like
okay.
yeah.
Because that's the thing.
And
Like,
so
sorry, continue.
no, you're good.
With the ad with technology going through, you don't need that singular location because you needed it at that point. Not everyone
Mhm.
had such ease of disseminating this information. So for
Mhm.
all the news outlets, all the gaming outlets, all of like everything coming to this one thing, it was easy to quickly disseminate all that information. But now everyone has their own YouTube, their own Twitch, their own things. So like, yeah, like why spend all this money and do this big thing when you can just be like, here you go, here's the info, and you
Yeah.
can do it on your own
We
schedule. You
we
don't need to worry about
tweeted it.
meeting the deadline of so.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of like Nintendo Directs or whatever, I haven't been watching those, but there's like state of plays, you know, because like now that's what Sony's doing is like
Yeah.
these state of plays. Oh my god, the last two ones have been just worthless. I'm so upset because the last two have just been focused on one game. It's like not even like, hey, this is what we're working on in the whole industry of Sony. It's like,
Wait, did that
no,
even count as a? Sorry, go on.
we are promoting Ratchet and Clank, and you will see 14 minutes of Ratchet and Clank, and that's it. And then this last one that came out was Horizon Zero Dawn, or Horizon, what's the new one called?
Far East,
Far West,
Far West,
Horizon
Western,
Westview,
Western
Dale.
boards.
Horizon Zero Dawn 2. They were like, we're gonna do
Eastern Boogaloo.
Horizon Zero 2. They're like, we're gonna do 14 minutes of this game and only this game. And I'm like, okay, I already, especially as like a consumer, I'm like, I already know I'm gonna buy these games, so I don't want to watch 14 minutes of these games because I want to experience that within the whole game. And so it's like I kind of go, I'm not going to watch this. And it's like, I would rather you talk about like your indie games that are coming up, which now they have a huge indie sale, and they released a video that were like, look at our indies. And I'm like, why did you do that in the state of play? Like, why don't you just have like 5 minutes on Ratchet and Clank? Because it is coming out. I understand you want money. I get it. You can promote it.
Yeah.
But like, why are you using your whole slot of state of play on one game?
Because they don't have
I don't
anything
think you're
else.
gonna change anyone's mind. You know what I
It's
mean?
just a
Like,
really long game trailer though. At that point,
exactly. And it was gameplay, and they like talk about it. I'm like, okay, cool, but like, I don't think you're gonna change anyone's mind. People who aren't into Ratchet and Clank aren't gonna go, oh, like,
oh,
you
it's
the
a
same
ferret
14
man.
minutes you can do in 5 minutes, and then talk about other things that you could change people's minds on.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, oh, I didn't know Sony was doing that. I didn't know about this indie game, or I didn't know they were working on this, or, you know, mention the freaking God of War delay at that point or something. I don't know. Like, that's
Yeah.
actual news.
Yeah. I feel like there's this need and desire that what they present must be hype and must be this. Where like sometimes people just want updates on things.
Yeah.
Like Elden Ring or whatever it is. Like that was teased forever ago, and like the community that's like really excited for this literally hasn't gotten a drop of water since the first. And they're like this. we didn't all. This wasn't a group hallucination, right? Like this was a
They
thing.
did announce it, right?
So, like, and that's the thing. Like at these things, like, yeah, okay, here's Ratchet and Clank. Here's the next this. Here's the next that. So the games we haven't mentioned in a while, such and such, we're still going strong on. Such and such is still in development. We're hoping to get some, like, just a quick little, yeah, like acknowledgement, because games die sometimes, and some like they just
Yeah.
disappear, and like people want to know.
And I think it's because the industry is so worried that like if you delay too many times, like the or even if you delay once, people like get upset. And I think the like mentality around that is changing. I think at one point it was upsetting,
Oh
but
yeah,
now it's kind of changed to be like take your time. Like I think most of the gaming
Just
industry
give us a
is like,
whole game.
but
That's,
yeah,
that's all I
exactly.
want.
People want completed games.
yeah.
And so
Cyberpunk made
giving
that.
an update
Cyberpunk was a
and
great
people want to
example
be
of that.
talked to. Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
problem comes from it gets to be a certain point where there's so many after the game development. There's so many other companies and people involved that you can't just keep delaying. Like you have this people,
Hmm.
these people, and like they're all like, we're on standby until you do this thing, and guess what? You're paying us while we're on standby for your thing, so your price is just
Yeah.
going. I think
Yeah.
I think that's really where the problem comes
On like unfinished games.
from. Yeah, for
Yeah.
like certain major, which is also why I think more and more companies started releasing their own thing, not just Steam. That's why I think
Hmm.
they all have their own game launcher now, because if they disseminate that, it's easier for them to delay their game because there's less other companies that they have to try to align stuff with.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. But yeah, I just wish and I think it'll come, but it's just coming slower than I would like, but I just feel like they think bad news like will ruin that game sales, and I don't think that's the case at all. Like the gaming the players, we just want to be updated on stuff. So
yeah,
like if stuff is delayed, like I'm okay hearing it in a state of play and not a tweet. You know what I mean?
hmm
Just like update me on what's going on. Because otherwise, I think yeah, you're right. Like the game just kind of goes off into to die on the farm, where you don't hear about
And
it
he was
anymore.
never heard from again.
yeah,
Yeah, and if you do cancel production on a game, like let us know, because otherwise you're like, what happened?
yeah, yeah. I feel like that needs some work on. Like my favorite was who was it? Bethesda, who had their utter flop like a year or two ago when all they announced was like a mobile game. Was that Bethesda?
I think so.
I
When
know.
they did Fallout Shelter,
No, maybe it wasn't Bethesda.
Was it Blizzard?
because that
I
Blizzard
was
did
hype.
the Diablo Immortals or whatever.
I think
Oh
so.
yeah,
That
and they're
was the
like,
one
you
where the
don't
guy on
have
the
these.
stage.
Yeah,
What's wrong, guys? Don't you have mobile phones?
yeah, and like it was. Oh my god, that
That
was
poor
such.
fucker.
Yeah, Blizzard. It was such like an out of touch moment from like a high up exec and stuff like that, because they took like so business world has that like 10,000 foot view like concept, like what's like a quick scope, what's it look like from way up high, and someone did that too much and went, oh wow, this company announced a mobile game, this company announced a mobile game, and that company announced a mobile game, and everyone was so happy that let's do that thing. And it's like, okay, but let's, if you zoom in, they announced that mobile game in addition to announcing other things. That was
Uh
just a
huh.
free tidbit at the end. I was like,
Yeah.
we're doing this, 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 and we got a free mobile game that's available now. We're like, oh, not like we're doing a
Yeah.
mobile game. That's all of our news. Why aren't you happy?
Well, I
We
mean,
love mobile
so that
games.
wasn't all the
Well,
news. That was
and
Blizzard doing like a lot of stuff, and then they were like, because everyone was waiting for it was either going to be a Diablo 2 reboot or it was going to be Diablo 4.
Yeah,
yeah.
And everyone was waiting for that, and they'd waited until because it was BlizzCon, and they'd done all the World of Warcraft stuff, they'd like done the Overwatch things, they'd done everything, and they'd waited to the end,
yeah,
and then it was like Diablo signs, and everyone's going ape shit, and they were like, "We're releasing Diablo Immortals because we want to break into the Chinese market," and then everyone was like. There was that guy that came up and he was like, "Is this some kind of late April Fool's joke?"
yeah,
Yeah.
And it was just like,
yeah. Like I said, because again,
no.
they thought the mobile thing was the big announcement. No, no, no. That's the addendum. That's the
Yeah.
bonus. Like that's
Mhm.
That's the cool little extra that they want on top of. Are you doing a remake? Are you doing a new game? What's going on? Like,
All
Well,
you
I
need to
think-
do is look at the Kingdom Hearts series to know that wasn't gonna fly.
oh man, what a
But like,
scene.
I think they knew people wanted a Diablo thing, but like, it was at the point where Blizzard were really, really pushing for the Chinese market, and then straight after that, they had the whole Hearthstone thing with the guy that said "Free Hong Kong," and they banned him from tournaments forever.
Mhm.
And everyone was just like, "Wait a minute, Blizzard, you can't do this."
Yeah.
Very fun in games at the moment.
All right, is there any game or anything coming up at E3 or any one you're most excited for? Platinum's
I
ready.
don't
Platinum's
know.
got an answer.
We
Oh.
have broken 100 days on Kenna/Kina. I don't know how it's pronounced.
And the bridge of
Yeah, the Bridge of
First
Spirits. I
Horizon
already have
Dawn.
it pre-ordered and it's just clicking down on my PlayStation.
Yeah, but that's not going to be like an E3 announcement.
I think they'll still talk about it.
Okay. We'll
Like,
see.
I think it'll probably be. Well, actually, no, they won't because it's PlayStation. You're right.
Yeah.
They're not there. I apologize. But anyway, we have broken 100 days until that game.
I still don't
I'm
have a
looking forward
PS5.
to
I'm
more
still no rush to
information
even
from
get a PS5.
Elden Ring.
What's that?
I'm looking forward to more information on Elden Ring. Can't wait.
What's Elden Ring? I don't think I've ever heard of that. I think you made that up. You
mean
hallucinated
Demon
that.
Souls?
Oh my god, they got so many. We mentioned this in in our group Discord. They got so many like weird. They have a Final Fantasy based Demon Souls type game coming out. It takes place.
Did you see they released a battle royale? Speaking of video game news, they released a closed beta for a Final Fantasy battle royale.
Yeah, they announced that a little while back.
No
too.
one knew anything about it. Did you see anything? I didn't,
didn't-
see
I-
anything until now.
I thought
knew
they
were
mentioned
doing
something about that like a
um,
while ago. Maybe I'm thinking of a
Wolves
I
different.
knew that they
Knew
were
all
doing a
about this.
Souls-like.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no, I
I
knew
knew
there was
about
a really
Souls-like,
weird
but-
battle royale that was announced that was teased a while back. So when I heard about the Final Fantasy one, I think my brain went, "Oh yeah, that's the really weird one I remember hearing about." But I honestly don't know if that was the one. But
Integrate's coming out on the 10th.
but
That's more video games.
But yeah, they have a Final Fantasy based Dark Souls type game coming out, which takes place in like Final Fantasy 1 game world. They have a Pinocchio Demon Souls type game coming out.
I've heard of this one. Yes.
Okay.
You play as Pinocchio and like so
And I
of
want
course
to
like
be a real boy?
I
You have to
don't
murder
know.
your way. You have to
I
gather
assume
enough
like
souls to
Geppetto is
become
some
a
kind of
real
weird evil thing, and you're like but there's a Pinocchio based like Geppetto, Jiminy Cricket, like it's literally rooted in the world of the lore of Pinocchio, and it's going to be a Dark Souls based type game.
Okay.
Oh, did you see the Sonic announcement?
That it's going to be in Minecraft.
No, there was
Oh, because I'd read that recently.
I was like,
Colors?
I'd read that somewhere. I can't.
I read that somewhere. Someone
Yeah,
told me, a
I
little birdie.
recently read that. No, Sonic Colors, I think it is. No, that came out ages ago. What was it that they announced? They
Wow.
basically they were like, oh, here's a load of Sonic stuff, and everyone was like, new Sonic adventure game, and then it wasn't, and everyone got mad.
Yeah.
I haven't cared about a Sonic in I don't think ever. I never owned a Sega.
Since my Sega Genesis.
I didn't even own a Sega, so like I didn't.
Oh.
Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube was the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
It was
take
just
your
the
word.
best game. Mostly because you got to
Um,
grow chows in a garden, and they were adorable.
We might get some news for the Hogwarts Legacy game.
Oh yeah, the Hogwarts MMO, right?
Yeah.
Is everyone still mad about it?
Yeah, they are.
Cool. Just wait to know.
I'm like, I'm not gonna let J.K. Rowling ruin my fandom. Like, that's my childhood.
You made it. Thanks for providing it. You may leave now.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
she's
it is
not-
so
she's not-
out of your hands, and all the new stuff that you're making, I don't agree with. So I don't know how much like really creative control you have over it now. So
All right, let's see.
Can't sit with us.
you can't sit with us. Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. What games are people hoping for? Lego City Undercover 2. Someone really wants a sequel to the first one. Pikmin 4.
Of all the things in all the world,
Elden Ring. Steel Rising. Starfield. Starfield will probably get something.
did we ever hear more about Beyond Good and Evil 2? Do you reckon that'll be there?
Man, it's been
They
a
did that
while.
really long trailer ages ago.
Yeah.
That's another one of those games you just never fucking heard from
And-
them again.
Yeah.
Because it was, I remember very there was like a pig person and like she shows up. Like I remember like what you're talking about. Like
There's a
That's
big person.
true.
There was a monkey guy with extendo go-go
Yeah.
gadget
Mhm.
hands.
That was
I
like
never played the
4
first
years
game.
ago.
Yeah, but I remember it coming out and everyone was like
No, I
going
do
apeshit.
too. Because I remember being like, "What is this game, and why are people excited?"
Wasn't that trailer the same year as the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser, which was
could
here's
be.
a horizon and then nothing, and then we never heard anything ever again?
It
yeah,
could
well
have been.
that's when Starfield was announced too. Starfield,
Um,
a picture of a mountain was their big
is
announcement.
Starfield Space Skyrim?
Yeah, Starfield is well, people don't really know. People think it's going to be an outer space Skyrim type game, but like we have no idea. It's original IPO, like it's an original project.
Oh, that
Mm.
was when there was a lot of people being like, "Oh, I really hope it's like Firefly meets video games."
Yeah, and so like, but
Yeah.
no one really knew about it. But yeah, Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 were announced basically the same time, and that's literally all we were told. Oh yeah, Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield. That's our announcements. Have a good day. And we're like, you
Yeah, they
just
just went, "Here's 2 titles. Fuck you." And then
yeah.
they just left.
We're like, you didn't. Hmm.
Do you think we'll hear Legend Breath of the Wild 2?
I hope so.
If they
I
do Breath of the Wild
love
2,
Breath of the
are they
Wild.
going to do the Super Nintendo Switch?
Oh, the better. Yeah. You're right. I think they will.
If they do one,
100%.
they have to do the other. They
Yeah.
can't not.
I think they will.
So, as a Zelda novice, I felt like there hasn't been a Ocarina of Time 2. Like they all have their own title. So, do you think it will be called Breath of the Wild 2, or do you think it'll have like its own title?
So with most of them, they have like like an ending, and with Breath of the Wild, the ending was kind of like, and
Oh,
then
it
the trailer
was?
the trailer they released was like a kind of like it was very much the same world, and it was the same
Mm.
because the problem with Legend of Zelda is that technically, though they are all the same characters, they're not.
Yeah,
It's like a
it's
lot
like
of
Because
different
there's 3
timelines and
timelines.
stuff.
There's 3
Yeah.
yeah.
timelines.
There's like the hero of time and the hero of something, and then the
There's
hero of another thing.
Link defeats Ganon, and it continues on with Adult Link. There's the Young Link timeline, and then there's the Link dies timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So it all spawns off of Ocarina of Time as the spawn point for the 3 timelines. And so
Mhm.
Majora's Mask is a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time. So back to your
Mhm.
question, I think they'll have a unique title, because that's one of the
Mhm.
few examples where they had a direct sequel, and that
Yeah.
followed the Child Link timeline, where Wind Waker follows the Link Lost
Mm. Okay.
I think it's more
I'm
likely that
excited
they'll
for
go with
titles.
they'll go with a Breath of
I
the
like
Wild
Zelda's titles a lot.
2.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll go Breath of the Wild 2 and a subtitle. I think Breath of the Wild was like just too big when it came out.
Yeah.
It'd be so
So
long.
I think they're just gonna bolt something on.
Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2:
Breath of the Wild 2, Ganon's Rebirth, or something to
Breath
that
of the Wild
effect.
2, Link to the Ocarina of the Past.
Oh my
Link
goodness.
to Majora's Ocarina of Time.
You know when you like do like a generator where you like just put in like all the titles and it kind of like will spit out like something
Yeah.
that's like that. That's what I figure it'll be.
But yeah, no, I loved Breath of the Wild. It was
Yeah.
so good.
Hey,
Yeah.
there is actually one of these.
One of these what?
The Fury,
One of what?
Legend of Zelda: Fury of Din, Legend of Zelda: The Oracle of Tingle, Legend of Zelda and the Emperor of the Wind.
Right? Like how
Well,
fun
this is
that?
my new favorite thing.
Right? Like, and it sounds like something it could actually be too.
Oh, Legend of Zelda:
Emperor
The
of the
Staff of
Wind?
Sown. That's a fanfic.
That's Rule 34 or whatever.
Legend of Zelda's Staff. Okay, I'm gonna click off of this now.
Is it not your favorite thing anymore?
Now we're getting into the porn versions. Got the adult ones.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. I'm trying to think of games that have been announced, but then
Well, I
we
mean,
haven't like seen anything yet.
yeah, because Sony's not going to be there, so we're not going to hear about God of War.
No.
Let's see.
I think what is it called? Like Project Athena or whatever
So
that was.
games that I've seen announced: Gotham Knight, with the Bethesda stuff. they haven't made a Metroid game in a while, and there's been people asking for that.
Well, yeah, because so they announced Nintendo announced Metroid Prime 4 several years ago, and what had happened was um, the company making it, Nintendo didn't like the product, so scrapped the whole thing and moved it in house.
Mm.
So that's why that's been such a long delay. Is another company was working on it, Nintendo was like, nah, that's shit. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
What
I
else?
love E3. What I do like about E3 though, and so I wish they would just kind of conform instead, like if they're all in one spot, lower your prices maybe, so that way people will go there. Like stuff like that. Like I wish they would conform a little bit, because what I do like about E3 is that it is like a weekend of gaming news.
Yeah.
And it's fun to like see everybody in one spot. It's like this big convention, and it's exciting where a Nintendo Direct here and a State of Play here, and whatever Xbox does over there, like it's all spread out through the year, which is easy for news, I guess, because you can focus on one thing. But like it's so much more fun to have it all together, and everybody does their big stuff, and you do the fun rivalries, like when the year Nintendo, Microsoft and Sony had like their big squabble was like so much fun. Like where Microsoft is announcing things and then PlayStation would like retort the next day, and like that was just kind of fun. It was
Yeah.
like a fun rivalry.
Was it Nintendo that was like, and here's how to lend a game to your best
Yeah,
friend, and he's like,
it was PlayStation. They like literally just handed it. That was so great. Like that was fun, and
Yeah.
obviously, if everybody is in their own spot doing direct to internet, like edited packages, you're not gonna have that kind of stuff.
yeah, it does kind of dilute it a little bit, because I used to take the weekend off for E3 stuff, because like you
Right.
just wanted to like sit around and like just watch it all. Like I've never obviously been, but
No, I haven't
like you just
been
sit and
either,
just
but
watch it
it's an
trickle in.
event.
Like I would literally have like one screen with the video feeds on and one screen with Twitter, and I'd be like, oh look, this is happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because
So
Agreed.
I mean, me and Terry used to co-stream it. We did like
Mhm.
2 years or 3 years of it,
Mhm.
where we like sat and watched the big events. We just took the piss out of it the whole time.
Yeah, and it's like that's so fun.
That's all it's worth now, though. Really, is just to sit and watch it and be like, no, not that. That's not
Yeah,
enough
to
of that.
be
That's clearly
incredibly negative
pre-rendered,
and judgmental.
captured in actual game engine. That means
No.
nothing. Miss me with that shit.
yeah, that was one of my always my biggest piece. So I understand if it's early development, you're going to give me something pre-rendered. But if you're like coming out later this year and you give me a pre-rendered trailer, no, fuck that shit. I want to see gameplay.
Yeah.
Out next month. Here's
Yeah.
a trailer that's all like just
Yeah.
like video.
Don't give me a story trailer, give me a gameplay trailer,
Yeah.
because yeah. Teaser should be gameplay, like story, cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Like the Kena
launch
teaser was
should be
perfect.
gameplay. Yeah. Agreed.
But yeah, I think everyone kind of going off and saving all their best, because even if they show stuff at E3 now, like, they save their best stuff for their own bits, right?
Yeah.
I
Like,
know. Which
'Cause-
really does E3 a disservice.
So I feel
and
like
if you have like a small dev, then like Sony will be like, if you're on our platform, then you go like it's got to be the state of play. You can't be doing it at E3, and
Yeah.
it's just like great.
like I feel like Last of Us 2 did a really good job because their announcement trailer was just Ellie like singing the song and stuff like that, and that was like that scene never even happens in the game. Like that was just
No.
purely a made for that. And then like
Which
the
I
next time
love.
you
I
saw
love
it,
when they do that.
they're like, okay, here's Ellie like crawling through the grass with a bow, and like then they showed just this random section of gameplay, no context. Like okay, like that's how you got to do it.
Yeah. And like I loved in the gameplay trailer when like it showed the enemy like pull her out from under the
Yeah.
car, and I remember thinking, is that like a cinematic that you can't skip, or is that gameplay? Like I remember being like asking these questions
Yeah.
because it was so like seamless. But it turned out that that was gameplay. Like that could happen where
Yeah.
they pull you out from under the car, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Crazy.
Yeah. So all right, real quick. So companies. So June 12th, we have Wholesome Direct. We have Ubisoft, Devolver, and Gearbox. So I can't think of anything from those companies that I'd be like, ooh, this thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
Devolver always puts on an interesting show,
Yeah, oh yeah, no.
Yes.
Gearbox does as well,
but
because Gearbox is
Gears
Border.
of War. No, Borderlands.
Yeah. So
I
the
know video games.
I know video.
let's see. Then the
I've
13th we
played
have
a video game.
Microsoft and Bethesda, just generic PC gaming show, future game
What is
show.
Netflix Geeked Week? Is that to them just? Is that like their own announcers just talking about E3? Like, what is that?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, where have you got this?
On June 11th.
I don't
there's
have a June
Netflix
11th.
Geeked
My
Week.
schedule doesn't
Ah,
include
shite.
June 11th.
Oh, I'll post it in the.
My schedule
although you
goes from
can't
June
get it from
10th,
the
12th,
Discord.
13th, 14th, 15th. I'm using Destructoid.
This is what I'm looking at.
This is
I've
what I'm
watched
looking at.
Geeked Week and everything. No way. Are they gonna do? Netflix is holding a week-long geek event in June about The Witcher, The Sandman, and more. Oh, okay. So it's not like
So it's their
is it
game-related
E3 coming
shows.
into Netflix, or is it Netflix going into E3?
Netflix going into E3, I'm sure.
IGN Expo, Gorilla Wholesome Direct, Ubisoft, Gearbox, Evolve.
Jeff Cayley hosted Summer Game Fest, kicked event off debut on June 10th, and the all virtual E3 beginning. Oh, okay. So they're like piggybacking it. They're not. It's not to do with it at all.
No, I think they're like.
Hey, here's a week where
talking about
we
just
give a
like
fuck about
IGN, like they
nerds.
just kind of co-host.
Yeah. Interesting.
Why
talking
make your
about-
own event when you can just co-host someone else's?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He
That's
says having-
reaction content, baby.
It's transformative in nature, no DMCA for you.
Except they get DMCA strikes all the time.
Oh my god, my favorite is uploading like me and Terry doing E3 to YouTube and seeing who strikes us for. Like Capcom have like struck my account like 4 times in the E3 live stream, and it would just be like Street Fighter video game noise, and like get fucked, absolutely get fucked. You can't just
Yeah.
claim everything.
It's so dumb. But yeah, the big day is Sunday because that's Microsoft, Bethesda, Square Enix, PC, and Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
which will probably be Harry Potter Legacy.
Harry Potter. I don't know, man. The last thing I need is a new MMO. I've just gotten back into the last one.
I can't get into MMOs. I used to.
I was someone raided me that was playing World of Warcraft this week, and my first thing was like, "Have you considered Final Fantasy 14? There's a free trial up into Heaven." And it just, I can't help myself. It just happens. Just happens.
Olgie.
All right.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
But it'll be interesting. We'll have to
Yeah.
wait and see.
I feel like we haven't had an E3 in like 8 years. I don't know why. Probably just because of the pandemic, but like, I just feel like we haven't had one in so long.
Well, because normally, as my calendar pops up a little bit, covering me some whatever. Because normally we wouldn't be streaming that weekend. Do we want to try to do something on the 13th just to talk about some E3 stuff, or just wait till everything's concluded after?
No, I think we should do it. I'm down anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely can do.
I don't think I'm doing anything that day.
So in that case, what time do we want to do it? Because like some of this stuff is going to be well after. I mean, we'll be able to talk about everything on the 12th, but like for Mr. England over there, like what's the latest we'd want to try to go to include some of this stuff?
I'm English. Hello. Time zones.
I'm
They're a thing.
English.
I'm English. It's nice to meet
Okay,
you.
because Square Enix is at 3:15 Eastern, which is about an hour and a half after we normally start.
So that's like 7:30 for me.
So
Yeah.
like,
Are we gonna just like co-stream it?
do we want to like co-stream some, or just like wait till like later that day and then talk about what had occurred that day?
I mean, co-stream.
We can co-stream and then talk afterward of the things that we didn't co-stream.
Okay.
Whatever.
Think of the things.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so do we
Yeah.
want to start around the 1 o'clock Eastern to get Microsoft Bethesda and like around
Yeah,
then?
that would be
About 30 minutes
11?
earlier than normal. Yeah.
I'm
Sound good?
down for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Make
we'll do
it
that.
so, sir. You just
Done.
have to remind us
We're
because I
so
will forget.
professional.
Imagine planning it
Well planned out.
whilst live doing a podcast.
What kind of amateurs would do such shit? Clearly, you gotta
Just
have this stuff.
Just cut it out of the VOD and pretend it never happened.
Oh, cut it out the VOD. You act like I do any kind of.
I was gonna say.
I do a straight upload to YouTube from Twitch. That's it, done. There's no editing. There's no going back in and like.
Do you not even cut off the start?
No,
You leave, like,
he
a
doesn't.
minute of.
He doesn't, and it pisses me off every time.
That's just the work. Come on.
Like
Hey,
you're asking to not get
hey,
views.
Second.
at least I put the podcast up on YouTube.
That wasn't my job. It wasn't my job. I delegated.
We were at like episode like 50 before like episode 2 was put up on YouTube.
Not delegated. I was like, bro, that's not me.
Yeah, at some point I'll probably go back and remove them, but I don't.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You can literally do it in the YouTube editor. That's the worst bit. It's like you can upload it, then you can just go in the edit and you just trim the first bit off. It would take you like a minute.
No, it's too
It's
much.
like so easy.
I know, and he
everyone
doesn't do
that-
it every time.
Everyone on YouTube that clicks on this podcast has to watch like 2 or 3 minutes of just silence and 3 static pictures of us.
Yeah, and they
music.
go,
There's music. Only like the
not
first 2 episodes
when
are
you
silent.
forget to put music on.
That was like the first 2. Since then, there's been music. All
And
right?
I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I like clicked on it and I went, he included the not. There's not even a countdown. There's nothing. You literally don't know when it's gonna start.
Mystery entices the viewer. It makes them want to stay.
I went, this is YouTube. I'm not sticking around. I went, what the fuck is this? Next.
I will sometimes not watch a video that I'm interested in because there's a 12-second ad.
100%
that's,
same.
that's
Same.
how fickle I am. If it's a long ad, I'm like, nah.
Oh man. On a quick side note, that's one reason I love Ryan George's personal YouTube account is he does all of his ads at the end with the ads straight
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Oh man.
It's good.
All right. So on that note, I think here's a good stop point. All right.
Thank
Tell
you
him.
for being here on YouTube.
Assuming you
If
got
made
through
it
that
this
musical
far-
intro, which apparently I need to edit out now.
Yes, you do. You should.
Fine. Gee, okay,
I-
Mom, Dad, I'll do it.
Good.
All right. Tell everyone
Just
who you are, where they can
incredible.
find you.
Who,
Plat-
me?
Yeah, go first.
Twitch.tv/Platinum Trophy Wife. I play games where I platinum them. I'm playing Hollow Knight right now, or I do lots of art. So commission me for those animated art emotes. Yeah, and then like Instagram and Twitter and stuff, but forget about it.
All right. Blindside.
You can find me on twitch.tv /blindside UK. Currently streaming all of the Final Fantasy games. We're on number 9.
All
I've all of the mainline Final Fantasy games that aren't garbage.
Wow! How dare you say that about Tactics?
right.
Why have you suddenly got so invested in this plat? You couldn't give it
Literally
a
never
single
played a
fuck about.
Final Fantasy game. Or never finished one, I should
Well,
say.
it does Tactics dirty like that?
Yeah, this is the best one, obviously. You just don't know how to play it.
We've started very prematurely trying to work out what my next game series will be, even though I'm on 9 out of like 15. And I want to do World of Final Fantasy. I'm going to do 10 and 10-2, and I might even do the 13 spin-offs.
Oh my god. Wait, 13 is Lightning, right?
Yes.
I played one of those.
So there's 13, 13-2, and then there's Lightning Returns.
I think I played Lightning Returns.
You played the third of this. Of
And
all of
then-
the Final Fantasy games that you can pick up any of them and they will not interact with each other. You took the only one that has 3 in the series and you played the third one.
And then are you ready for the only other Final
You
Fantasy
played
that I
10-2,
started?
didn't you? You played 10-2. Yep.
You made me angry. I think you do it deliberately. Right as a podcast, and she's like, just get his blood pressure up. Make him too mad to eat after this.
I didn't finish either of them.
I bet it's because she spent the whole time like, I don't understand what is happening here. None of the story makes any
Oh,
sense.
no.
Who's
No, it's
Titus?
amazing.
Why do I care about this Titus guy? What's happening?
They didn't develop any of these characters.
No,
they
they
just
give
came
a
out of
recap.
nowhere.
I know he dies or whatever.
Yes, he dies. We'll go with
Yeah.
dies.
Let's just say dies.
He's trying to find him or something. That was the first one I played, and I was like 13 at
He
the
lives
time.
in
So that one I don't know.
spheres?
It just kind of seemed weird. I just know it starts with like a concert, and she's like a singer, you know, like in the first one, and she's like dancing.
That, to be fair, they have like 5 concerts in that game. Like
They do
from
have
start
a
to
lot.
finish, there's so many concerts.
One of the
Yeah.
last things that I did was give someone a massage, and you needed to like be in the right spot. That was like a little mini game to give a really good massage, so that way she doesn't know that you're a spy.
The beauty of Final Fantasy X 2 was when Final Fantasy was like, can we appeal to women? And then they just filled it with really weird like mini games, and that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
What do women like?
Giving
Male character
massages.
trio of all women. One of them's very strong. One of them's a character already had. One of them's like just a bit loopy. And then mini games. Women love mini games. We'll do a side scroll and shoot a mission. We'll make it so that they dress up all the time.
Yeah,
Women
you
are-
change outfits and stuff.
Lady gamers will love it.
I picked it up and then I went, I don't like this. I picked it up because of Kingdom Hearts. I was like,
Platt's
I love
not a lady
Kingdom
gamer
Hearts.
established.
Square
Huh?
Enix.
I said
fired the
Platt's
dude
not
that
a
came up
lady
with that.
gamer established.
Yeah, no, not a lady gamer. Mm-mm. Make it pink, I go, no, no. No, thank
No,
you.
Just like that.
No
Oh,
pink
no.
for me.
No,
No,
no.
no, no pink for me.
No
We've
pink
had enough
for me,
pink.
please.
Away with
Thank
you.
Yeah. Oh,
Bye-bye.
away.
Away. You take
Quiet.
away the.
It's not good enough for me.
You and your pink, you go away from me. I have no need for this.
Man, it's
Oh.
too funny.
Put the pony in maybe, but no pink.
Where can we find you, Wolves?
Perfect timing. Literally just popped up on the side.
Hey!
I'm Great Wolves. If you're watching this on Twitch, you can find me right here. And I'm Great Wolves. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can find me right here.
Yeah.
Hi.
A beautiful outro.
That's so creepy, Wolves.